I'm starting erosion station number 4, glaciers. And I'm going to start with the reading. In your reading, there's lots of nice little details, so you should be careful about reading the entire reading, not just answering the questions. I will go over the 4 questions, however. Okay, question 1. What lakes were formed by glaciers? The Finger Lakes in New York State, as well as the Great Lakes. 2 types of glaciers are valley glaciers, which form high in the mountains and they slowly move down into the valley, and continental glaciers, which are huge ice sheets that we have at the North and South Pole. How do glaciers erode land? Number 3. They erode land by abrasion and by plucking. Abrasion is that as the glacier moves over the land, it grinds and polishes the rock that it moves over by rubbing. And plucking is that as the glacier moves, it picks up rock and moves them to a new location. And you have to define these 5 terms. Glacial till is rocks and soil that are deposited by the glacier. Oops, did I skip? I skipped question 4. How do glaciers change valleys as they move? As a glacier moves through the valleys, it scrapes the walls of the valleys and changes it from its normal V shape into more of a U-shaped valley. Okay, again, till is the rocks and soil that are deposited by the glacier. That is why Connecticut has very rocky soil, because we have a lot of glacial till in our soil from the Ice Age. Terminal moraine is till that forms a ridge at the front end of a glacier. And the entire island of Long Island is a terminal moraine left over from the Ice Age. Lateral moraine is some till that forms a ridge at the sides of a glacier. So imagine a snowplow pushing some snow. You have some snow at the front of it, but also it leaves some ridges on the sides of it. Kettle Lake is a lake where the glacier retreats and it leaves a hole in the soil. Sometimes it might leave a chunk of ice there. And then the chunk of ice melts away and the hole is filled with water, not just from the glacier, but also from the surrounding land. It might fill with some water. An iceberg happens when a glacier reaches the sea and a piece of the glacier breaks off and falls into the sea. Okay, that is the end of the reading. I do have a couple pictures to show you. I want to show you the scratches or striations that glacier can leave in rock. So very similar to your activity with the clay and your little ice cube. You left some scratches on your clay, and similarly the glacier leaves these scratches or striations into rock. This is a kettle pond that formed. And this is a giant boulder. It's called a glacial erratic. And if you Google glacial erratic, you can actually find a lot of pictures of boulders that have been dropped by the glacier and left behind. So, anytime you see a giant random boulder in the woods or on a mountaintop or anywhere else, a glacier put it there. There's lots of examples of glacial erratics all over New England. Okay, so that was the end of the reading. And in the videos, for video number 1, I just wrote that we were able to observe 5 months of ice flow as the glacier moved overhead. So it has a little wheel on it that turns and clicks as the glacier moves overhead. And the video was sped up to show how much the glacier moved in 5 months. And I will have the summary for video number 2 in part 2.